Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is just going to be a quick video to show you how I open up my PlayStation to deal with the noise issue that I'm getting at the minute, which is not too bad overall when I'm just running certain apps, but when I'm playing certain games, PlayStation's running really hot, can overheat. As you can see already on my PlayStation, I've cleaned it not that long ago, but already there's loads and loads of dust. I've got two dogs in my house in the room where I have the PlayStation, so I don't know if that contributes. Anyway, so in the video we're just going to strip down the plastics. I'm going to show you how to get the main bit of the dust and where to actually get the majority of the dust off in your console. It's very modular inside, but we won't have to touch any of the electronics really. So we're mainly going to be cleaning the fan after we've removed the plastics. These are the tools that I use. These are just makeup brushes I've just borrowed from my girlfriend. Little brush I found in the drawer, which is alright. These screwdrivers, now they have a little hole in the middle. I'll put a link in the video later, or you can just search Amazon or any other shopping website. Don't pay more than £2 to £3, but about $4 or $5, no more than that. Basically, there are certain screws inside your PlayStation that will take like a 5-star screw. Sorry about the lock focus. And it has a dimple in the middle. If you don't have these screws, personally, I opened it up quite a lot of times with just a small flat-headed electrical screwdriver. I'm going to show you where the initial screws that we need to remove are. Now, on the back of the console, you see where all your feeds are going in and out. So there are 2 stickers probably on your console here. If you remove these 2 stickers, this completely voids your warranty on the console. So please don't do this if you have any warranty. Please take your console back to the store. If you're going to do as I did, because I was quite happy opening it up, it was past warranty, and I was very concerned about the console dying with heat, so I removed the stickers. As I say again, just so you know, this is, if you do this, this is on your own behalf. This is just a video on how I personally do it. So once that's taken off, it'll expose these 2 screws. As you can see, they've got a funny shape on them. As I said, a small Phillips flathead screwdriver will go into there, but if you're not in a big rush, you can get these next day delivery, as I said, from any shopping website, I'm pretty sure. And they're only literally worth a couple of dollars each, and it's worth buying just in general. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these now. Just replace the phone camera back down. Okay, so we'll get on with it. So some of the plastics are quite easy. So there's 2 sizes of these screwdrivers. I found I only need one. So I'll quickly remove these 2 back screws. I'll show you the screws after. And all these 2 screws are holding this top piece, this side of the light plastic, and the bottom piece below, obviously. So you may have seen on other videos, or you may have not. You know, this part on the older console will removes by sliding it across, which then exposes the fan intake across here. Now, before we move any further, you may see a lot of screws, but if you just look at the top, common sense, part of the plastic bracket here, the 1 screw, and here the 2nd screw. So just so you can get that, this is the front of your console, and we pressed down and slid this way, and it popped open to give us this piece. This is how you change your hard drive, by the way. There's a hard drive in there. You remove this screw, slide that casing out, pop your other hard drive in, put it back, secure the case. But moving onwards, So console, as you can see, looks pretty clean. No signs of dust, but I can assure you it's very noisy. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those two screws right now. Again, it's the same size screwdriver. And I'm just putting all the screws together, as I've done this a few times. Sorry, I say it's the same size. There's one Phillips, which is a crosshead screwdriver. And I have the screwdriver here, thankfully. Now, I've watched other videos, and some people have replaced the security screws with regular screws. Personally, I found it easier to just buy the screwdrivers. Right, so now that's off, we're going to work on taking this back piece off. And if I remember rightly, it lifts to us from the back here. As you can see, it's starting to pull. It doesn't lift completely open. There are two clips on either side here. Just little plastic clips inside this metal, inside this plastic casing. Now, we can pry this open with our fingers. I've done that quite a few times. Personally, if you've got I found this is the easiest way. If you've got a card of some sort, if you've got a prying tool, use that for sure. If not, use a plastic card that you'd no longer really need, preferably. This is a gas card. Just to gives us that ability to press quite hard without having to use a screwdriver. That way, you know, it's not going to damage this type of plastic because it's a softer style of plastic, as you would find in a prying tool. So I can't quite remember which end, so if you just bear with me. I think it's over here. Yeah. So I push it in and try and work to find the clip. If it's not on that end, it's definitely on the other end. There we go. Sorry, this does take me a little bit of time, just because I don't want to be too rough with the console. Well, it just popped up beautifully. I wish. So it came off. So as you can see now, this is the inside of your PlayStation, hopefully. So under here, you can see the fan. This is the main fan unit that cools down your PlayStation. Any bits of dust anywhere needs to come off. If you are investing in the screwdriver set, buy yourself maybe a spray, an air spray, pure air, just so you can get this dust out without using any abrasive tools. But for me, that's really why I've been using these makeup brushes. They're very, very soft, so I can really, you know, go to town with it. Don't have to be overly gentle, unless obviously it's something like the ribbon cable here. These are where we want to be just a bit more careful. Last thing you want is to rip those. Right, but don't worry, we can't really reach much here, but as I say, any dust needs to come off. Blowing on it can work, but what you're going to get from that is moisture. So hence the idea of buying the air spray, or as I'm going to use after a hairdryer, if you've got a little hoover, that also works. So there's still quite a lot of dust, but we're going to remove the bottom casing now. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think it all comes off in one piece. I'm going to try and remember which way. Again, I'm using the card just to. There you go. So all I did, I don't know if I got that on video. So we're taking the card, running along. There's a little lip there, and it pops in, frees up the front, the plastic. I mean, at the back there, we lift. And I just need to do the same with the card on the other side. So as you can see, it lifts one end, And I've literally cleaned in between here literally about 3 days ago. So it's a bit tight because I've got the other end up. There we are. Right. If you can see here, lots of dust. Lots and lots of dust. I've cleaned the whole console probably 2 weeks ago, I would say, roughly. So, sorry to keep moving the camera, but here we go. So we've got much better access to the fan. You can see the microboards here. This wire here, that's your Wi-Fi cable, I think. I won't go into those details right now, so I'm just going to take the makeup brush again. You don't need to worry about ribbon cables, completely sealed. Places like, sorry I'm not looking at the camera as I'm talking, so places like this down the side here, just get it all moving. The thing with using a brush like this is just throwing up the air, so that's why ideally if you've got a little vacuum or something to just go over it once you've brushed it loose would be great. Or again, if you've got an air spray, you could just run it along there. And the same with the fan here. Now, the main issue will be dust in this fan unit, which is sucking in air from down here. And this, it's very modular, which means, you know, there's only a few pieces and they all come out in one. This is where the Blu-ray drive is. Now this back piece, I have removed the casing before. It just takes a bit more work. For this video, we're going to leave it, but just be aware, inside this part of your PlayStation, there are the components, and a lot of dust builds up. It's got access to blow the heat out in the back here. So I see a lot of fans pumping cool air there, but this really, to be honest, this is where it needs to be sucking out the heat and blowing in the cold. So just be aware, a lot of dust builds up. I can see it barely through the grill there, maybe a bit better than I would normally. So you can see all that dust, and dust causes heat, and heat kills computers and processors and motherboards and connections. So even, you know, the brush isn't going to reach it. I wouldn't venture a bigger brush. You don't want any pieces of the brush getting stuck in there. So this is the part where I personally use the hairbrush, the hairdryer. Right, this hairdryer has a cold function as long as I hold down that button. Warning, if you do use a hairdryer, it's got to have the cold function. If you blow hot into a console, it's going to kill it. So please only do this if you have a cold setting. If not, use a vacuum cleaner, the tube section, and just suck out the dust the best you can. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to turn it on. It's going to be very noisy, so you might want to adjust the volume on your headphones, on your TV, etc. Or even press mute for a couple of minutes. So I'll wiggle the hairdryer once I'm done. Going to flip it over. Now I can see it's not cleaning the fan great, but we are getting chunks of dust on it. Okay, so this is the top part again. As you can see, there's still quite a lot of dust in there. But compared to as it was, it's much better. But we have to loosen the dust. Hence, this is why I go over it with the brushes first, then the hairdryer, and preferably then a vacuum. So if you can do this, you can use a little brush. You could use a cotton bud. You could use even a piece of tissue paper, as long as it's not wet or anything like that, just to get the biggest parts of the dust. But I guarantee you the majority of the dust will be in the back end here, inside this part of your PlayStation, or possibly This is where the intake is for the air to cool the PlayStation circuitry down. So it's only intaking from here. Hence why it make more sense to have a rear fan. Sorry about that noise. So sometimes this part here can have a blockage. This is the intake. These little vents here. And I've had it myself when, you know, it's pretty much completely covered and taking in hardly any air. Then you look at the fan, obviously if that's feeding in the air, the fan here is just filthy. So it's taking in dust. So I'm going to flip it back, we're going to give the fan a quick clean again, just with a longer brush. I apologise about the movement of the camera, but as you can see it moves the dust a bit. It's so filthy. So it's important to move the dust, but it's very important to remove it afterwards as well. You can be, you know, reasonably firm with these pieces of equipment. The fan here. I do apologise about how slow it is, but I wanted to show you properly how, you know, this is a console that literally cleaned two weeks ago, I think. And all this, I did the same process. Maybe a bit quicker because I didn't have a camera, but other than that, same process. Just taken my time, cleaned it properly, removed it, and the dust has built up so quick. I vacuum every day, so I don't know if that makes it better or worse. Anyway, so there we go. That's the best I'm gonna do without removing this section. Now to remove that section, we need to undo quite a few pieces, and I will make another video for that if anybody would like to see that. Now I'm just going to place the camera back down so you can see me reassemble the plastics. I will also give those a quick brush down and a blow on them. So as you can see, it's a little bit better. It's not perfect, but what is? I think once you've done it a couple of times, you'll feel a lot more confident about cleaning your console. Obviously this generation console was one of the earlier ones, but by keeping it clean from dust, you know, it's still lasting me now. It works fine, it runs nice and quick, but I see a mega difference in performance when the dust builds up. I was very reluctant to do so for the first, I'd say the first 6 months after my warranty had run out. My console was very noisy, but it's just something I lived with. I'm so glad I learned to do this. Okay, so we're going to put the bottom back on first. So the bottom is here. Well, there we are. Show you what I know, guys. Right, so I'm just going to pop it so you can see that's the front of your console with the eject button. So that's going to go on first. So a little bit upward, and then we just press it down. A nice click. Very easy. And let's just make sure we've got some of this dust. I'm going to put the dryer on again, so please watch your ears. Okay. So we'll put the side piece on. I'm just going to brush this down. Again, you can take as much time as you like doing this, but as long as you've got the main parts, chunky dust off your circuitry boards or off the fans, you should be fine. So this side, we'll go, I think it's front to rear. Yeah, it's front. No, it's rear to front, this one. So it's front to rear on the bottom. And there we are. Nice click again. So as you can see, both pieces are already firmly on there. I've not even placed the screws in or anything. This panel is open to access or to change. You can buy different colours, I think. But prior to putting that on, we shall replace the screws. So there's one Phillips screw that goes here. Well, here on my console. And I'll just put them in and I'll show you on the camera again just before I've finished. Again, if you do open up your console, it's on your own conscience be it. I hold no liability for what other people do to their own consoles. This is purely what I do to service my console, which is out of warranty and would be long time burnt out if I did not do this. So this is the last part now. We're going to slide this panel on. This one goes back to front. There we are. So nice little clip. Okay. I'm just going to have a quick look and then we shall. Okay, so if I can grab the camera. So it doesn't look that tidy on the outside. Inside we've still got dust. Sorry, it's very hard to get it to focus. No, it's a lot less dust. So I'm quite happy with that job for now, considering we didn't open any of the other casings or anything. I'm just going to replace the back two screws. So the screwdriver. Just place it in there. I personally find it quite easy to do. If you're finding it difficult to line up the screws, I shall show you in a second a technique that I would show to make it a little bit simpler. Or what I'll do actually, I'll do it with the other screw. So we take this screw and what we do is stand the PlayStation not flat, but so it's standing up straight. So that's a 90-degree angle, and just bring the screw in directly down. And they should both screw in nicely. So you don't want to be feeling it tight. If it feels tight, it's going in, or not quite right, don't force the screw in. Just take it back out and just gently get it in there. And that means you're not messing up the thread. Okay, so I hope that video's helped. I know it doesn't look like much, but that should be enough to get your console back running quietly. It's all well and good looking nice and polished on the outside, but it's what's on the inside that counts. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope that helps.